Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Northern Countdown. I am none other than your friendly neighborhood soda, and this time I got my pilot Bear here. But I'm also joined, as usual, by my co-host for the show, 50 Shades of Geek, and Johnny and Doc Rayner today. How you guys doing?
Good, how was my name from?
Well, as you can tell, I'm in a good place right now. So, how about you guys? 50, what's the deal?
This guy takes the whole couch to himself.
It's always the little ones. This guy takes the whole queen-size bed, the little bugger.
Yeah, but at least he has his own bed. What is he going to sit on my couch?
No, he sleeps in my bed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm one of those guys that pets and dogs sleep in bed with me.
Well, it took me a long time to convince this guy to sleep in my bed.
Oh, no, this guy was right off the bat. He was like right tucked in my arms. And...
Well, at least it's only for tonight, and then tomorrow is going back to where he belongs. But until then...
You realize he's small enough you can move him.
You do not move sleeping pets. What's wrong with you?
A lot of
things. Once a dog is asleep, there's an unwritten rule that you can't move it. Even if it falls asleep on your lap, you cannot move, no matter what.
Unfortunately, I do it all the time in bed because I have to move around in bed because my hips start to hurt or something like that. And because the dog sleeps right close to me, I do grab him when I roll over. So he's kind of moving, not really.
Well, on the bright side, at least you know that your hips don't lie.
Oh, the hips don't lie, but they sure cry in pain. But anyways, that's not why we're here. This is actually a pretty good list, but 50, since it was your list, I will let you introduce it.
So, I don't think I mentioned this last time, but my list is a bit of a two-parter. With another list that I will, presumably, if no one takes it, I'll do it next time it's my turn. But basically, it's top 5 characters that you would like to watch movies with. Here's the stipulation, though. They can be either fictional or historical, but they cannot be characters who already know what movies are and have been known to watch movies.
Damn, because my list is people. Okay, so there's 3 people involved in movies on my list, but they're from the birth of movies. They have no idea what they look like now.
I think it's allowed.
Okay.
My idea was characters who have no idea what movies are, but are smart enough to understand.
Okay, so the 3 for me were prevalent, particularly during the silent age.
I guess it's still so far removed from
100 years.
Yeah, and I think I already know which one, at least one of yours. Knowing you, I think I already know one of yours, but
not Chaplin.
Dang it. Okay.
Because Chaplin died in the 70s. He made movies up until he died. But I will say his best friend is on the list. You guys will never get that one.
No, I'm not even going to try.
But the thing I like most about this list is that characters that you can't necessarily Google on other people's top 5 or top 10 lists. You have to make your own. And that's the type of lists I like to present to the panel at large.
I did make my own, and I even included the movie I would show them.
Okay, doke.
How about you, Ben? How'd you do your list?
Let me start. I won't even get into mine. I have a pretty fun list.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Okay. So, let me first, because it's my list.
Yep.
Of course.
So, my number 5 should be no surprise to anyone because I've already mentioned this character last week when I even brought up this list, and that's how I got the idea, but it's Leela from Doctor Who is a human from a point in the future where, long story short, a human colonized ship crash landed on this planet, and it's been there for so long that the two main factions of the spaceship, the technicians and the survey team, have sort of devolved into, or rather, their descendants have devolved into sort of primitive religion-based factions. The technicians became the technologically advanced Tesh, and the survey team became a sort of primitive savage tribe called the Savity. But Leela is on a very different path because while she is from the Sabatine, a warrior of the Sabatine, she's also smart enough. She's way smarter than all the other members of her tribe, smart enough to almost pass as a Tesh, yet she still has this religious, spiritual belief in her. And after traveling several years with the fourth Doctor, she eventually ended up on Gallifrey. She married a Time Lord. Long story short, she became the presidential bodyguard of the ex Lord President Romana Dvorak Ralunder.
Mhm.
And well, Time War stuff got a bit confusing. She hasn't really been seen since she was betrayed by the War Master. Long story short, I choose the specific Leela that has been living on Gallifrey for several years. From the Gallifrey show on the series on Big Finish.
Okay.
That's a specific type of Leela. She's no longer a savage warrior. She knows advanced technologies and civilization. She's experienced time travel, but ironically enough, not really a lot of time for movies during her travels with the Doctor. And obviously, Gallifreyans don't really do much movies because they.
But that's the benefit of a time machine, 50.
What?
So that's the benefit of a time machine.
Yeah, but to my point, they didn't really seem to be watching very movies while they were in a time machine.
That's true.
So yeah, that's my number 5. What do you think, Johnny?
So is there a specific movie you would show her?
Okay, dang it, you forced my hand. That is the second half of the two-parter I was about to suggest. Which movies would you like to show these types of characters? I was going to suggest that as my next list. The next time it's my turn, but
Because
I will reserve
that with my list.
Okay,
Sorry,
but
50.
it's fine. It's fine.
Well, it's okay. We can do it, and I can do another list. There's so many historical people. I can do it more fictional next time. That's fine. We can do the list.
Wait. I didn't catch that.
Okay,
What?
so all the people on my list are real people that have existed.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to do for your next list movies that to show these people? I can do one for fictional characters easily.
Not necessarily these people, just these
Okay,
people or other people, or just an alien that just landed on Earth and has no idea what movies are.
Okay, we
That's
can easily do
my
that. I can easily do that for the next list. Okay, got a little confused. Okay, good. I will still include my examples for my list for my choices though. Doesn't mean they will appear on that next list. Right, Ben?
My number 5 is a wizard. Gandalf the Grey.
Nice.
And the movie I would show him was a movie that I once was shown by mistake on TV. I thought I've been turning on Lord of the Rings. What I ended up turning on was Lord of the Cheese Rings.
I knew it was going to be a porn movie. That's hilarious.
You want to make Gandalf lose faith in humanity by showing him
Thou
that?
shall not come.
I didn't think that would be so much fun to hang out with him. I don't know why
You really are not that innocent, Ben. You really are not.
No, I'm not, man. No, I'm not. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem like a fun character to hang out with. And nothing bad is going on. Like you sit with you and have a smoke a joint with you, and he didn't look like a fun person.
Mm. Yeah, I wonder what is in that pipe of his. Which I actually do have a Gandalf pipe here, but that's besides the point.
Some of these are good stuff. Maybe like Pineapple Express.
Ooh.
Mm.
Or Mordor. I don't know.
I like
Here's
that.
Here's a question. Do you think him being able to make certain shapes out of the smoke, it's because he's a wizard, or because of the specific type of stuff he's smoking in that pipe?
I think
for me,
I think he,
wizard.
yeah, because I think he is a good, an experienced smoker.
Because I think,
let me tell you, trying to blow smoke rings is hard.
yeah, I know, but
yeah,
I think I can't remember because it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I think Bilbo also makes shapes.
Okay.
When they're smoking together, I think, but like I said, it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
You shall not blow out my pipe.
Which could also be a line in that porno you're going to show him. I was not expecting that this morning, but I'm glad you said it.
Well, whatever it is, it can't be worse than showing Gandalf the Grey what his human counterpart Ian McKellen did in the movie Cats. Just saying.
Ooh, you had to bring up that Cats movie. The movie I'm thinking.
I was trying to think of something worse you could show Gandalf, worse than that porno.
That is a movie I refuse to watch, and I'm very much appreciated that Kiwi Jess made the sacrifice for all of us.
Cat is the movie that.
But just saying,
Cat is the movie that totally destroyed the earth. Because after that movie, everything went to shit. Think about it.
True. It is
true. I mean, some could argue that everything went to shit after everyone decided to raid Area 51. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Who knows what they found in there? The Ark of the
Maybe some timey-wimey stuff. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, Manny. Why here number 5?
So my number 5, like I said, I went more with real people who, for the most part, were around at the advent of films, but haven't seen much. Because in particular, this gentleman died in 1948. But his name is D.W. Griffiths. Do any of you know that name?
Sounds familiar.
Familiar, yeah.
So D.W. Griffiths is considered one of the most influential figures in the history of motion picture. He pioneered many aspects of film editing and expanded the art of narrative film. He was also one of the founders of the studio United Artists with Charlie Chaplin, Mary Pickford, and Douglas Fairbanks. And he is most known for the movie Birth of a Nation, which was considered one of the biggest movies of its time. However, it hasn't aged well because it glorifies white supremacy. But the movie I would show him, based on that, based on film editing, based on narrative and stuff, I would show him Avatar. Because think about it.
Not a movie about white supremacy, yeah.
No, but I'm looking at it more because he was known for his influence on filmmaking. I would show him Avatar just to show him how far we have come since he was making movies. Because think about that, a lot of that movie was motion capture. A lot of the environments is basically all CGI. Plus, it is an expansive narrative that explores other worlds. I would like to see his reaction to that.
Not a bad idea. I like that.
I was trying to think of a movie, and it's like really the only person I can think of whose movie I would show him would be a James Cameron film. It was like either the Titanic. Oh, wait, he was alive when the Titanic sank. So
Nice.
I can't take my eyes off of your little bear.
I know. He's a scene stealer.
Hoisting him on your forearm like a parrot at the moment.
Half and half. He's half of my stomach, half of my arm. I have a big stomach. It's his perch.
I hadn't noticed.
But yeah, no, I like. Hopefully, he doesn't take any white supremacist things from that movie because he probably could. But yeah, that's what I would show him. Just
I know Avatar. How?
colonization, all that stuff.
Yeah.
There is some of that in there.
Okay.
Why humans are the ones with the superior technology over
Yeah.
the blue natives. You know, you're saying.
Oh, right. That's just wolves couldn't call me.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
All right, 50.
Okay, in a completely 180 turn, I was trying to at least limit the number of characters from Doctor Who on my list, but as I mentioned, I believe last week's episode, I've been listening to a lot of Big Finish standalone episodes at work now, and I've severely doubled down on it all over the week. I listened to like 20 or so just this week alone. So
Wow.
one very specific one, which actually really influenced my number 4 pick, is another companion of the Doctor, Nissa. So a little bit of backstory: Nissa is from the planet Traken. She's from a royal family of Traken in its final days, right before it was destroyed. But one thing that specifically influenced my decision for putting her on my list, which is mainly driven from that episode that I've listened to over the past week, is that she seems to be fascinated by anything Earth related. So, like arts, music, dancing. She, in one episode during the Fifth Doctor era, the on television that is, she managed to learn a traditional 1920s dance just by watching Tegan doing it once.
Oh, nice. So she's
Memorized all the moves, and she's in that Big Finish episode. She's actually teaching it to a Trakenite from thousands of years before she was born.
Oh,
Yeah, she's just. First of all, she's very smart, very technologically adept. She's one of the few companions that can accurately pilot the TARDIS.
really?
Rather, maintain the TARDIS, I should say.
I was gonna say parking brake on or off.
I mean, we can go into a whole tangent about me thinking that whole line was bullshit, but we're not going to get into that at the moment. But yeah, I think movies is something she would enjoy watching. Like, the Trakenites are universally famous for arts and sciences. What better way to share what many would consider the best forms of arts and sciences of Earth with another planet than by showing, at this point, the last surviving Trakenite in the universe movies.
Yeah, she would definitely appreciate it for sure.
Yeah. Of course, unlike certain people on this panel, I wouldn't show her any porno movies, but I'd probably show her movies or white supremacist movies, but I would probably show her movies that best exemplify the best of humanity.
Superman the movie. No, what would be a good movie like that?
I mean, I don't want to spoil my number one for the list I'm suggesting, but
Yeah, no worries. Don't. I'm just trying to think what would be a good one, but that's not my list. All right, Ben, you're number 4.
It's a little bit of a cheat, but you can't have one without the others.
That's fair.
The Seven Dwarfs from the animated Snow White movie.
Okay.
I wasn't. Go ahead, Ben.
What? No, what? Am I not allowed to do that?
No, I was thinking you were going to say something else, and I was going to punt it. So, go ahead.
Oh.
They seem like a fun bunch of guys. I want to show them a fun watching comedy and have a fun time with them.
The Hangover.
Maybe The Hangover, exactly. They seem like happy, all of them. Happy, grumpy, sleepy, bashful, dopey.
Fuck you, an Easter egg. Throwdown reference, people.
Oh, down.
Yeah, so that's my number 4.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do think they would be a fun group to hang out with. Yeah, that's really the only route you could go is to do a raunchy ensemble comedy. So like The Hangover.
Yeah.
They
American
were,
Pie.
they were 7 mostly old men living with one young woman. So,
Which means they're dirty.
yep.
Exactly.
That's 2 picks in a row that Ben went dirty.
Yeah. I actually had a bit of a fun.
See what happens when I do the show earlier? I get earlier in the earlier we do it.
He hasn't had time to get it out of his system, so to speak.
Nope. No doing. No fuck me.
So before Ben decided to take us down a dirty rabbit hole, that sounds so bad.
Oh,
I was gonna bring up something that actually happened in the Disney comic books.
okay.
So, in one specific comic book about the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, specifically the one from the movie that you were referencing, the blue fairy shows up, or a blue fairy. I can't remember if it's it's the real blue fairy, but she shows up, and I haven't read the story itself. I just heard about it, but she gave Dopey the ability to speak, but unfortunately, again, haven't read the comic, but unfortunately, he could only say one word, and that's it. That's the only word he was ever going to say in his life.
What was the
Can
word?
anyone guess what that word was? And please try to keep it non-dirty, Ben.
I am good. I don't
Love.
know.
I don't know. Love.
That's 3 words. What?
Love.
He turns to Snow White, and he says, "Mom."
Oh.
I wasn't too far off.
Yeah, very cool.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I am good. That means mom is good. It witness me.
It's true. It does mean mom and Groot. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not far off too.
that's true. That reminds me. So we're playing a medley of stuff from Guardians of the Galaxy and Community Band, and one of them is Groot's Cocoon, the song that's playing when he's saving everybody. It sounds so cool.
I love that scene in the first one.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was gonna quote a good friend of mine, Ben, you cheeky bastard.
That's me. That's me in the morning. I'm thinking that would be my 12th name.
His filter is still warming up.
Exactly.
Boy,
So my number 4, Tim?
save us, Soda, please.
Okay, so my number 4 I actually mentioned during my number 5 pick. And also, this is Charlie Chaplin's best friend, Douglas Fairbanks Sr. And the name ring a bell?
Nope.
He was the action star of the silent era, the first action star in movies. He was the first actor to play Robin Hood in a Hollywood film, the first actor to play Zorro in a Hollywood film. He was known for doing his own stunts. His movies were spectacular for their time. The movie I would show him, because he died 42 years before the movie came out, I would show this action hero, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I thought you were gonna say Last Action Hero.
That's a TV show. Oh no, that's the movie.
No, that's a movie.
No, I would show him Indiana Jones, because Indiana Jones is the peak of what Douglas Fairbanks was able to do in the silent era. Like, seriously, go back and watch some of his movies. The stunts he was doing spectacular, was amazing. To be able to show him all the things that we were able to do in 1981, and just think what we can do now. Things like the boulder chase, things like the special effects with the Ark of the Covenant, we could show him. What else? We could show him all the Egypt stuff, like basically all the stuff that he made popular. We could show him. Your legacy still lives on even to this day.
I'm being curious. Why that movie?
Like Calvin Klein or Kevin Klein. Sorry.
Why that movie and not a movie like Commando, where that is like peak 80s action.
Because think about the movies that I listed off that he's famous for playing: Robin Hood and Zorro.
Okay. Alright, no.
Kind of fall
Alright.
into the same category of this type
Alright.
of movies.
Oh,
And
Batman.
yeah, I would, because he was known for swashbuckling. I would still stick with Indiana Jones.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
What
I
do
mean,
you
like
have
there
against
are
Indiana Jones then?
Sorry.
What did you have against Raiders of the Lost Ark then? Come on.
Yeah, and Raiders of the Lost Ark is like almost.
Why do you hate Indiana Jones? Come on.
Dude, I mean, thinking, when I think action movie, I don't think Raiders, I think Commando, but
But I wasn't when I was approaching this list. I wasn't looking at it. Okay, like what action movies? Like, okay, I've got Douglas Fairbanks Sr. What type of action movie would I show him?
okay,
Butler. Where would I go? I could show him Pirates of the Caribbean, which would be pretty freaking cool to show him. But it's got to be Raiders, because Raiders is still like the top of the mountain when it comes to those type of action films.
and I'm fair. Okay, I'm sorry.
No. That's like there are plenty of great action movies you can easily show Douglas Fairbanks and he'd probably be entertained. But it's just, and also because Raiders takes place in the 30s, which is when he was alive. So
Gotcha.
he died in 1939, so it'd be right around the time when Raiders takes place. Fun fact: in the movie Chaplin with Robert Downey Jr., he was played by Kevin Kline. Great movie, by the way. I'll watch it.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my number 4. So 50. What is your numero, please?
Well, seeing as how I lost the use of my right hand at the moment, for who knows how long, my number 3, I was trying to pick someone from Star Wars, but I was like, which character who wouldn't kill me for existing, for starters, would be interested and would be an interesting partner to watch a movie with. And I thought long and hard about my number 3 pick, but eventually I ended up settling on the one, the only, Master Yoda.
Oh,
But.
And you! I was going through the speech and the build-up and the premise, and you take it away from me. Okay.
But now you've got more. You got more time to hone it, 50.
Oh, I feel mad. I feel mad now. I feel mad.
No, don't feel bad on my account. Go ahead. What's your number 3? Tell us.
It's me from Peter Pan, the animated one.
Ooh,
I would watch Pirates of the Caribbean with him.
of course.
Oh, it's
Show them what a real pirate should be like.
It's such a good film.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun to watch that movie with.
Oh,
And he seems like another fun guy.
think of all the rum.
Yep.
But why's the rum gone?
One of my favorite scenes of the first Pirates.
I have a question, though. Who do you think is the better sidekick? Smee or Mr. Gibbs?
Mr. Gibbs. Forgive me, who's that from?
From Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right, sorry.
Smee. Smee, because Smee is more memorable. He did many more stuff, and you know this character, you love this character.
Smee is the archetype for Gibbs, and also he's that version of Smee you're going for will more likely make you laugh more.
So I'm curious. Talking about Smee, who is your favorite Smee version?
It's Hoskins, man. Look,
Yeah, mine.
you've seen
How
him.
about
I mean, to me, it's either the animated one or the one from Once Upon a Time.
Who I've met.
Really?
Yeah, he's a Vancouver native, and he came into the lumber yard I was working at one time to pick up some lumber, and I was standing right beside the car when my coworker grabbed it. I was like,
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he also the toy man in Smallville?
yes, he was, and he was also in a very memorable early season episode of Supernatural as well. Yeah,
He's like a good guy. I mean,
But here's the thing. Have any of you guys watched the terribly dreadful waste of time called Pan.
That's the Hugh Jackman one, right?
Yeah,
No, I haven't.
No.
I don't
good.
want to see a movie that takes Smells Like Teen Spirit and puts it in the wrong time period.
I mean, that's the least of your problems with that movie. That's the least of that movie's problems. But
I like the idea behind it, but from everything I've read about the movie, it's not one I'd be interested in seeing.
yeah, and also from one of the major problems, it might be the worst. Actually, not no, might be. It is the worst version of Smee ever.
Oh,
Who plays him?
I can't remember, but I mean, he's a okay. The Smee character has never really been brave or anything, but
no.
he's a total whiny bitch of a coward who sells out his friends. He sells out the person he's working for. He abandons Captain Hook to save his own ass. Like he's
he tried to do that in Hook as well. At the end.
At the end.
Yeah, when he's trying to run off with some treasure and shit. But
Me, what about me?
Yeah.
What about me? Wait a minute. Me, what about me?
All right,
Well-
sorry, 50, continue.
Yeah. No, there's no reason to continue. Like I said, he's the worst. I mean, the fact that the movie ends with Hook as the captain of the Jolly Roger, with Peter Pan and the Lost Boys as his crew, and Smee is nowhere to be found, tells you something about how bad that movie was.
Let me ask you guys a question. Did you guys know Bob Hoskins actually came back as me in something?
I do. I just can't remember what.
It was a TV movie called Neverland, I believe.
Right.
And it was a prequel to the Peter Pan movie. And the guy who played Captain Hook was, oh God, what is his name? And that guy who played the lizard in Amazing Spider-Man?
Fonz.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Film. TV movie.
it's really good. It's broken up into 2 parts. It's definitely worth a watch.
Okay.
And it ends right where the Peter Pan story begins, if that makes sense.
Okay, that'd be interesting.
Cool. Fun fact: I was at one point considering putting Hook from Once Upon a Time on my list.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love it whenever he gets annoyed by modern stuff in that show.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I didn't put him, because it's hinted that him and Emma have seen
You tried to
movies
get on my
together.
nose.
Right. Oh.
So my turn now.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're the mood train.
So this is my first of 2 forays with animated films. Does the name Windsor McKay mean anything to you two? Probably not.
It sounds familiar again.
Windsor McKay is best known for the comic strip Little Nemo, which was made into a movie, and which was the first anime movie I saw and didn't know it was an anime. But also for the animated film Gertie the Dinosaur, which was the very first animated film. Windsor McKay walked so Walt Disney could run. He pioneered a whole bunch of animation techniques that are still standard, and he influenced guys like Walt Disney and all those guys. And also, he was praised for how natural and smooth his animation was for such a very raw form of entertainment at that time. Now, the movie I would show him, Into the Spider-Verse. That's as top peak animation as it gets. So to show the guy who basically is the father of animated film, to show him this, I think would be pretty cool, to show how the style of animation has evolved over the years and all that jazz. I think he would get a kick out of it.
Nice.
I'm a little surprised you didn't choose to show him the best animated movie of all time.
Spoilers.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Oh shit! I think I know what that spoiler was.
But I think Spider-Verse would be fun because, like I said, it's basically just to show him how far his contributions, like the other guys, how far his contributions have carried into the art of film, and Because think about all the different techniques that we saw that we'd never seen before in that film, right?
You're right.
So yeah.
I like that. I like that choice.
All right, 50.
Okay, so here's the one I thought Ben was going to suggest, and then I was going to punt it, but Rocket and Groot.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay,
Again, it's you can't have one without the other. That's what
man,
it's
I would ask, during that 5 years on Earth, you really don't think Rocket saw a movie?
pretty sure that after what happened in Infinity War, Rocket just legged it and he went back to patrolling the galaxy. Because if you watch Endgame, he comes back to Earth after being away for a while, presumably 5 years.
I thought he was on Earth that whole time.
No. He was in contact with Black Widow from his spaceship. And he only comes back to Earth because the Avengers think they found a way to bring everyone back.
Right.
Okay.
But,
All right.
but you'd also would have to think, though, with somebody like Peter Quill on board, he would have seen the movie.
I don't think
You
he
know-
brought with him. And
Peter Quill was snapped.
Yes, in that particular instance, but there's a lot of things we don't see that take place between movies.
Okay, that's fair.
But Soda, here's the thing. How would he have shown him any movies if the only Earth technology he has is his mother's Walkman and like maybe that video game that he used?
Remember, he was able to get a Zune MP3 player right down to the second one. So
because the Ravagers brought it to him after they went back to Earth and back again.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's right. You do make a fair point. I guess they never really did go to Earth.
He didn't have, and he was adamant, and even James Gunn was adamant that he wouldn't go back to Earth. The only time he was back on Earth was for the final battle of Endgame and Tony Stark's funeral. Then he up and went.
No, okay, no, you're right. That's 100% fair.
And plus, my understanding of the Peter Quill character in the movie universe is that he wanted to keep his movie heroes from his childhood sort of he wanted to have a sort of air of mystery because he kept talking about characters from TV shows and movies, presenting them as great Earth heroes of the past. I don't think he would have wanted his friends to know that they were just fictional characters in movies.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But it's something that you haven't picked up on, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because Yondu and friends picked up Peter Quill in 1988.
Yep.
Means he hadn't seen the Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, he did. There's 2 movies that came out before that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
1978. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry. Never mind. Continue. Ben, what's your number dose?
And the punt from earlier, Yoda.
Punted he was.
You're right. Watching a movie with him would be so much fun. And I don't know about you, but I know definitely what movie I would show him. And I'm guessing you would have the same answer.
Star Wars.
Yoda? No, Spaceballs.
You did tell me about that one, yeah.
This is what people look like, Miss Master Yoda.
Think about how fun it would be watching the Spaceballs with Master Yoda. Yeah, I think it would be fun. He's a fun guy when he's not training you, and granted, I think it's a gut feeling. I do think he likes to have fun when he's not doing anything.
He likes to let down his robes, as it were.
Yeah.
Okay.
He likes to smoke the old piece of pipe
Ooh.
With Gandalf.
with an animal.
And we really don't know much about his species, so for all we know, they got some really good shit.
exactly.
Well, they're green.
Yeah. Could you imagine Yoda with a hookah pipe?
Quite good it is.
It's no, it's like he's smoking and it's like, you are who?
Hmm. This minute runs on water.
Snatch past, will you?
What shape this is?
Exactly.
Okay, so before we went down that rabbit hole, no pun intended, the main reason I chose Yoda for my list is because of his interest in other cultures and just like what I said with Nissa, the arts. That's what I think he would really go for learning about other cultures. And I suppose I could have picked Thrawn because he's also interested in other people's cultures and arts, but well, fuck that guy. Uh, but yeah, Yoda I think better exemplifies the best thing about Yoda is despite his incredibly old age, he never seems to slow down as far as learning new stuff. He's never one of those I know everything, I'm smarter than everybody type of old guy characters. He's always interested to learn. He's always curious. He's always inquisitive. He's always investigative. So that's why I think showing him the art of movies is a good pick. Choice. My arm is getting tired.
I'm sorry?
My arm is
What?
getting tired.
Yeah, but you know what? You're petting a dog or something. There's few things greater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
best joys of life. One of the many joys of life.
So what's your number two, my
Okay,
dude?
so this one I don't need to explain the person because everybody knows who this person is. But 50's gonna love this. William Shakespeare to be shown The Lion King. Just because there are so many adaptations, but I think this one is probably the most unique. And the
And
reason
it's the best.
it is it's up there because you all got like 10 things I hate about you, and then there's other adaptations, but it is definitely like top of the top is Lion King. I'm not going to argue that. But I would show him that just to show that you could take the themes he introduced in his plays in Hamlet and in Taming of the Shrew and stuff like that, and show him just how you can translate them into an alternate setting and they still work because, as we all know, the Lion King is William Shakespeare's Hamlet.
Yep.
And then you could also do
The Lion King 2 is
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet.
Exactly. So I think
And the Lion King 1.5 is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Go to Hell, which is unfortunately not an official Shakespeare work, but still, I think you would have fun with that. But no, I think honestly, with his sense of humor, this now keep in mind, obviously, don't know Shakespeare. I'm going by what I saw in the Doctor Who episode, The Shakespeare Code. I think you get a kick out of watching The Lion King. I really do, because it's such a great film. It's funny, and the themes are still strong in there. And like I said, to show him how universal the themes he introduced in his works are. It was
Expelliarmus.
10 Things I Hate About You, but I had to go with The Lion King.
Expelliarmus.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about you, 50? What do you think about Lion King being shown to William Shakespeare?
I think the Lion King being shown to everybody is always a good thing.
Touche. Now, this was my original number one.
So you changed it halfway through.
I changed it while making the list.
Oh.
Got me interested.
This one just speaks. My number one speaks to my true love of film.
Gotcha.
All right. So, okay. Honorable mention time then, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, so ironically, the only historical figure on my list, Nikola Tesla.
Ooh.
And again, I'm going with the version from Doctor Who because.
Yeah, that's the one we all know.
Yep.
And another one that can't really make the list because in certain versions she has seen movies, but it's Starfire from the Teen Titans.
Oh, nice.
again, it's another alien character who I think would be interested to see. And honestly, she's from a war-torn race, so
Of half
showing
cat
her,
people,
yeah.
which means I want to know what her take on cats was.
I wasn't planning on showing her that. Thank you, very clutch.
Meow! Meow!
Yeah, exactly.
Meow!
Meow.
Meow. All right, Ben.
Okay, I have a few. Wolf, yogurt, Moses, my only historical one, Joel, and Gimli.
Oh, Gimli would be fun. You know, I was considering Moses at one point. Can't remember why I dropped him from my honorable mentions. But
Got one, and I'm sorry for this. John Schnepp, Avengers Endgame.
Oh, what? We didn't bring down
There's
the.
one movie you would show that guy. It has to be Endgame.
I would show him into the Spider-Verse.
Well, I would show him that too, but because Endgame is such.
did you see into the Spider-Verse?
No.
No, he passed away before it came out.
When was Into the Spider-Verse came out?
Sorry? Spider-Verse?
Like November 2018. He passed away in that July.
Oh.
No,
yeah.
I think I came back from Ant-Man and the Wasp when I heard the news.
I was at work. Yeah, July 2018?
That's when he died.
Yeah, he passed away 6 months before it came out. But he did see the trailers. He did see the trailers.
I miss him. I miss him so much.
But yeah, it has to be Endgame just because of how big of a comic book nerd he was, and it is the biggest fucking comic book movie ever made. I don't think anything will surpass it in terms of scale. I really don't.
It might not be the best quality movie, in my opinion, but it's up there for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's already seen Infinity War. So
At least he got to see what, in my opinion, was the better movie, which was Infinity War.
right, and Infinity War is a great. That's a battle of semantics on that one because you can take either one could take the top spot on that list. Really,
You know, it is
Both of them there's, in my opinion, too long, but that's just me.
of course. Like there's so many to put in the conversation, of course. But that was my only honorable mention. Is I would love to sit down next to John Schnepp and see him watch Avengers Endgame for the first time, especially on your left.
Oh.
Yeah.
That entire third act, I'm pretty sure his hair would fall out and he would all over the place.
Dude, way to bring down the moon on a Saturday morning.
Well, it's time to bring the mood back up. So 50, give us your number one.
Well, I have a feeling that my number one's going to make some people happy. Arthur Weasley.
Yes! Even though I'm pretty sure he's seen a film.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, he's still very questionable about everything Muggles do. Like, he doesn't even know what the purpose of the rubber duck is.
That is true. He probably has seen a movie, but he probably hasn't watched the film. That makes
But they
sense.
live it. Okay, fine.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he knows what a television is, but I don't think he's ever sat down and watched a movie.
Well, you know what? This brings up an interesting question for me. All the wizards and witches, they live in modern times in Harry Potter. How many of them use it like everyday stuff?
It's true.
My impression that I got from the books is that, yeah, they live in modern times, but they don't indulge in the sort of stuff that Muggles use, like cars and movies and stuff, because they see it beneath them.
Here's the thing, though. If you look at it in the context of the books take place in the early 90s.
Yeah,
Videotape rentals, places were still around, but they're a poor family who probably could not afford to. So it is plausible he's never seen a film or a TV show.
Okay.
A lot of money to go see a movie. And besides, just looking at the rest of his family, I don't think any of the other Weasleys would even want to go see a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You think about it.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you
fair.
bet your ass that Molly wouldn't want to go to see a movie. Ron wouldn't want to go to see a movie. Fred and George wouldn't want to go see a
Oh,
movie.
I think Ron would be down for it.
Ron,
And
would get
so when,
so confused by every Muggle everyday stuff.
Oh, and I don't know. I think Fred, George, and Ron, I think would actually enjoy watching the film if it was the right film. It was more of a comedy.
Yeah, again, the right film, but they would need some convincing.
I have the same copy, and it disappoints me because it's the only American copy I own.
I love this book. I love it. This is my favorite book, and yeah. And it is Sorcerer's Stone, not Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, it's the Philosopher's Stone, buddy. Get it right. The only reason they changed it, you know why they changed it? And this is no joke. This is me dumbing it down. It's because the publishers thought Americans were too dumb to know what a Philosopher's Stone is. I'm not kidding.
And considering the fact that most Americans still call it Sorcerer's Stone, they were probably right.
Well, that's more probably because that's the version they grew up with. But yeah, that's basically what it came down to. Is the publishers and big American audiences were smart enough to know what a Philosopher's Stone is. What a philosopher was, I guess.
Well, to be fair, Americans think that a sport where you grab a ball in your hands and run with it should be called football. So maybe they.
You know what? I don't like this. I feel like I'm getting kicked up on right now.
We're not talking about you. We're just talking about other dumb Americans, Ben. It's okay.
Yeah.
What? Did you say every dumb Americans?
It's okay, Ben. We know you're American, and we've never held that against you.
Okay, Ben, let me say this, though. When that book came out, we were still too young, so we didn't qualify for that conversation. But no, seriously, look into it, and that's the reason it's given.
Okay, I believe you, but I like your name, Sorcerer's Stone, so to me.
Okay, how much you worth? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Nothing. Take me for everything I have. I have nothing.
Quote a line.
Exactly.
All right, Ben. You're number one.
I'm a little surprised nobody sent this one. I find this person going to be a hell of a fun time to watch a movie with. He likes to drink his stuff. He's quite knowledgeable about the stuff. He seems like he would be a fun guy to hang out with. Tyrion Lannister.
Ooh, interesting. Ooh. Tyrion Lannister. Peter Dinklage in Game of Thrones.
Oh. Okay.
Imagine going to a movie with him. He would be so much fun. Don't you think?
No, I do agree. He would be a lot of fun because, like he says, he drinks and he knows things.
Exactly.
No, I think that is a great choice.
I just wanted to have fun with all my people. That's why I'm down the route I did.
No, for sure.
Yeah, and I love how all three of us had different approaches to our list. Like I picked specifically the ones that I think would appreciate the art of movies. Ben picked specific people he thought he would be fun to watch a movie with, and sort of went with people who have contributed in some way to the art of filmmaking. So all three of us had different lists that reflect our personality.
Yeah, which is actually, I think this was the better way to go for it.
Yeah.
Good topic, 50. Good topic. Good topic.
So my number one now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this was originally my number 2, but then when I looked at my list, I was like, no, this has to be my number 1. Anybody familiar with the name Lon Chaney Sr.?
The only one I know of is the one from Screen Junkie, so no.
Lon Chaney Sr. was the first true horror icon. This gentleman right here. What that guy in the left played all those different roles, and he made all the makeup himself out of his own kit that he has, which is actually on display, I think, in the Smithsonian. It's a little toolkit. He did all those makeups. He was able to transform himself a lot. He actually made himself a legless cripple for a movie by binding his legs behind his back. He wore a 20-pound hump on his shoulders while doing Quasimodo. For Phantom of the Opera, he pulled his eyelids with fish hooks.
Oh,
Like, he went all out. So the movie I would show Lon Chaney, It Chapter 1.
That's a good one.
For Bill Skarsgård. Because Bill Skarsgård disappeared into his role, just like Lon Chaney used to. Lon Chaney was good at horror. He was good at prosthetics. Let's show him what it looks like now and everything you can do. I think you can get a kick with that.
That is a great number one, man. I love that.
Nothing like showing the godfather of horror cinema, what horror cinema looks like now. And it has to be at Chapter 1. It has to be. There could be others, but for me, it's that one because Bill Skarsgård is following in the footsteps of Lon Chaney when he's doing the role of Pennywise.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that, Matt. I like that.
And I have indeed seen Lon Chaney's Hunchback of Notre Dame. Damn, that guy was a good actor.
Was he the one who played Nosferatu?
No, that was Max
That was
Schreck,
good.
which is where they got the name for Batman Begins.
Oh.
No, Lon Chaney never played a vampire. However, he was the first person offered the role of Dracula for the Universal film. Unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh.
He passed away in 1930, which was before Dracula came out, before Frankenstein came out. Lung cancer because he was a heavy smoker. Yeah, and there's a good movie out there based on his life with oh shit, why am I James Cagney called Man Without the Face. I would recommend checking out. He plays Lon Chaney, and they do versions of the famous makeups because obviously the company didn't know the rights to the makeups, but definitely worth checking out. Lon Chaney is a very fascinating individual, especially for all the painstaking detail he went into portraying his roles. You think Daniel Day-Lewis is a character actor? This guy took the cake because he physically contorted his body doing it.
I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he only made one silent film. One sound picture before he passed, which was a remake of a silent film he did called The Unholy Three.
Wow.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that brings an end to our list, which is, like 50 said, a very eclectic list because of all our different approaches, and I actually enjoyed this. And considering it only took me 5 minutes to do my list this morning.
Look at you. Look at you.
Well, you know my plan. I like to sit here for a bit and I like to think about my list, but then 50's like, hey, can we start early? I'm like, shit. But it ended up turning out really well.
You know what? We should probably mention that we're going to be going earlier from now on.
Yes, so because 50's boss is a dink, he decides to put him on a certain shift.
Yeah, he's not a dick. He just wants me to start work a bit early than usual.
So instead
Which
of
is better for me personally, but
instead of being at 9:30, we're going to be doing the shows at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, which will also help me because if I have to work, I work at 9. So
there you go. And now you know. And now you know. And knowing
what was that, 50?
I said, now you know.
All right, Matt, your list for next week. You have an idea?
Yeah. Because it's the season of all the TV shows writing down, like it is usual every May, I came up with this morning. Top 5 final seasons of shows.
I dig it.
Me likes.
Me likes two very much, and I think I might already have my number 1.
I'm curious. So curious.
It's one of those, if you hear it, you're like, oh, fuck, of course.
Oh. I think I know it.
Spoilers, it is not Castle.
No. Well,
that's number 1 of my least favorite.
Yeah.
Number 1 with a fucking bullet.
Ooh. I think I know your number 1. Hopefully.
You want to take a guess?
I could, but I would. I'm off camera.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you yes or no, but I want to see if you know what it is, if you get it. Let me put it this way. I'll tell you if it's not.
Okay, fine.
Okay. That's gonna be fun. Now let's see how many. I want to see if Doctor Who wouldn't count for that, would it?
No.
No, because Doctor Who never had a final season,
No.
Right.
and it never will.
But if you were to delve into the semantics, if you were to separate it by doctors,
Well, I can make a top 12 if you want me to.
No.
it's true. We don't.
If you want to include the final season of Classic Who, I guess that's okay. Because,
You could
No,
you
because
could
in
do
my
anything,
mind, the show never ended. It just took a break.
which is true.
oh,
Which
okay.
is true. Which is true. It was canceled, but he's not wrong. It just took a break.
Okay, that's fine.
It took a few years for the management of the BBC to switch up a little bit. You got rid of all the riffraff, so it was the right time to bring it back.
You know, I'm curious, 50. How long was the break between the end of Classic and the beginning of Modern?
26 years. No,
Including
16 years. 89 to
including the movie
2005.
though, then? Yeah, from 1889 to 2005. But like, are you including the movie?
No, I'm not talking about the show proper.
Yes, 16 years. 1989 is
16
when it
years.
was canceled, and 2005 was when it was brought back.
Okay, alright. Sounds good to me.
What is
Alrighty.
what is this guy's problem?
Was he biting you?
Yeah,
Yeah, my dog was doing the same thing earlier too.
well, he was now.
Mine are, oh.
Yeah, you know how I felt all that time.
Oh.
Anyways, 50. Where can everybody find you?
Well, this is the last time for a while you'll be able to see Johnny because well, he's going back home tomorrow.
That's
yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah. But anyways, you can find me every Saturday now on this show with these wonderful gentlemen. Every Monday on The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, my Doctor Who show, speaking of Doctor Who. You can also find me on my channel, 50 Shades of Geek, where I just dropped my thoughts on the announcement of the 14th Doctor. And, well, you can also find me occasionally on Twitch, where I try to catch up to Soda playing Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. And occasionally I might pop up on other shows on Ben's channel when I have the opportunity to do so.
And Ben, what about you?
Well, you can find me on my YouTube channel, The Multiverse of Kingdom, every Monday on Dissecting the Showdown, every Wednesday on Jedi Academy, every Friday on the Weekly Kingdom, every Sunday on One with Ben, and you can find me every week on this channel, every Tuesday on Rewind the Tape, and every Saturday now on Northern Countdown. You can also find me on my Twitter, Ben_Radio.
And as for myself, you can find me at my personal Instagram and Twitter, soda_the_Saxman. You can find me on the shows on this channel that these two gentlemen have mentioned, as well as the Squared Slice, where this week myself, Dustin, and I, we reviewed WrestleMania Backlash from last weekend. And then later on today, you can find me over on the Let's Get Ready Network doing the drop kicks over there, where myself and Dagan will be going over the week in wrestling. So, on behalf of the three of us, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave in the comments.
4 of us.
The 4 of us, and the 5, even though my 5th is in the other room now.
Oh.
Drop in the comments who are some historical figures, fictional or fictional characters you would like to introduce to movies, and let us know, if possible, what movie. So again, on behalf of the three of us, we will see you next week as we count down our top 5. What was it then?
Final seasons of TV shows.
And we will see you next week, folks.